By the way, Miss Andrew kind of sounds like Miss Andrew, which kind of makes sense, you know, because Miss Andrew is like, you know, dislike or like prejudice against men. It's like the opposite of misogyny, Miss Andrew, and she likes getting revenge on men.
From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what, and didn't have an alibi for what everyone was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed.
Yep.
My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife. But I am Matt's manager, so I felt that I had to protect him.
This does account for everything.
Well, I am the logical type. We're finally seeing her true self. She's more nervous than a scared rabbit.
If the defense can find no fault with his testimony, I am ready to make a ruling. Please keep that in mind as you cross-examine, Mr. Wright.
Looks like somehow everything has swung to the opposite end of the scale again. That just means I have to put my weight into this and turn her logic upside down.
Oh boy.
Upside down. Okay.
Yeah, he did have an alibi while he was
That's true, he was sleeping. That's all.
His alibi was he was sleeping.
The button and the knife.
Honestly, that would be my alibi for everything. I was sleeping, Your Honor.
But what you really did was stab the guy in the back, didn't you? And at the worst possible time.
Hold the fuck up. Who's to say she really stabbed the guy in the back, as you put it? As you can see right here, the stabbing was in the front.
Damn it. This witness could have disclosed things about Mr. On Guard at any time. Why then would she wait until there was a large audience before doing so? It's the same reason why Mr. Corrida planned such an elaborate conference. Miss Andrews wanted to cause Mr. On Guard as much damage as she possibly could. The witness bears ill will towards the defendant.
This isn't the Phoenix Wright Wax Philosophical Power Hour. And please stop slandering the witness.
Yeah, everybody has a question because that's for defendants.
As I expected, Miss Andrews' testimony seems pretty solid.
Really? Because to me, it sounded a little fishy-washy.
Then why the fuck don't
Wishy-washy.
you... Oh, man. Wishy-washy? Well, I guess we'll see if I press a little more.
You should know this by now. But you'll need strong, decisive evidence to make her talk.
Got it, Chief. I'm going to pin you down this...
Got it.
Oh, I thought I'm gonna pin you down this time, Mia.
I'm still pretty bloody.
I'm still in Pearl's book.
Oh no! I'm going to pin you down.
Do they actually like change? Like does like in universe she morphs into Mia?
Yeah, everyone can see it. So wait,
everyone can
it's
see
physical,
it, right?
or if it's just like a.
Is it physical, or is it just or is it just like something Phoenix can see, or just us can see? Like it's just
everyone can see it.
Because Von Karma said, "Here, look, she's not looking like herself."
Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah.
I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer.
Matt Murdock.
Hold it!
So would you say this need came from the press conference?
Yes, do you know why Juan chose that event and that hotel for the conference? Because to steal Maya. Because that was when he could cause the most damage to the public beloved Matt and Guard.
And you knew of this plan, didn't you, Miss Andrews?
Yes, because I was the one who set up the conference and prepared the costume.
But I'm sure Mr. On Guard himself didn't know anything about the press conference.
Oh, really? Can you show me any proof that he didn't know about the press conference?
You show me any proof that you're...
I mean...
I don't think you submit anything here.
Really?
Yeah, the way we can pretend...
Oh, never mind.
Like, we used to make a thumb on him.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. He doesn't really... Okay. Anyway, the important thing here is that the information was not in your testimony.
Yes,
Yeah,
I agree. Miss Andrews, please correct your testimony if you please.
Gasping the stars now, are we, Mr. Wright?
Has Mr. Ungard done something to hurt or betray you personally?
Why do you ask?
You were the one who helped Mr. Corrito with his press conference, and that event was supposed to bring down Mr. Ungard, yet you still helped out.
The person on trial right now is Mr. Ungard, right? What the witness was thinking, helping the victim with his plan, is none of our concern. In any case, this means that the defendant had a motive to kill.
Why do I keep doing this to myself?
I understand.
Stop that.
Okay. You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprint on the knife could very well be a clever camouflage.
Is she sleeping?
Then what about the button?
The button?
It's clear from the scene of the crime that the victim it's clear from the scene of the crime the victim and his murderer have fought. And during the fight, the killer ripped button from the Gemini ninja's costume.
You're talking about this button, correct?
The button was found in the plates of Can you say the name so I can remember it?
Hakama.
Hakama. Okay. That
It's
button was found in
Japanese.
the plates of Matt's Hakama. Isn't that correct?
Come on.
I would think that would make it a very decisive evidence.
Looks like you were outfoxed again, Mr. Wright.
Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony.
I can't stand here at the side of a man who can't gracefully accept the defeat.
Thank goodness Mia can still look at me.
Euthanize hysterias.
Miss Andrews, for Mr. Wright's sake, please add this information to your testimony.
Alright, here you go. This
Wait,
is
stop,
presenting.
stop, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go photo, the photo Laura took of the guy out exiting the room.
Exiting the room.
So the one with the...
Look at his costume. Where's the button supposed to be?
Somewhere
No,
in the pockets of this thing, I guess.
No, because if you think about it, maybe it was torn off in the struggle between Mrs. Andrews and him, and that's how she took it.
And put it in his costume.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably.
Also, the gloves. She has gloves on the costume. So.
Actually, wait, that wouldn't make sense because that's a spare. It was found in his Hakama, right, in the body search. So that couldn't be the same Hakama.
You're right.
Yeah, so she took the button and then I don't know.
However, my theory would be that...
Game theory.
In theory, while Matt was taking... I'm not good with names. When Matt was taking the nap, right, she could have very well had the fingerprints with the thing and then just planted it in there, taking the button off and smearing it with blood easily. Could have well been a clever setup, but how would you prove that it was with the
Is there a photo of
Yeah, wait, no, yeah, present that because it wasn't
because
found in.
it wasn't- it was
No,
found
no, no,
in-
no, 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 that's
Wait,
not
what?
right. That's not right.
It's not right. Okay,
What? Okay.
It's
It's
close.
it's okay. So it wasn't the right thing to present.
It's not the bottom. It's not the button itself, but it's related to the button.
Oh, okay, so it's the photo, right?
Probably the photo, yeah.
No, it's not the photo either.
What?
Not the photo. What the fuck? Okay.
Is it this?
It's a little more. What's the word?
Implicit?
Implicit.
It's not- it's
so
not
the
a-
knife.
It's not a picture. There, it's not a picture.
It's not a
Wait,
pic-
is it in the documents? Is there any documents to read?
Oh, no, there's no document.
The
Well, aside from
documents.
this, but then it's not really a document.
There are like 3 documents on the other page, though.
Really? Or there are? Oh, wait.
Yeah,
Well,
you
we
can
know
read the
what they-
description.
Okay. No, like, oh, I thought, okay.
Do you really want to read a suicide note, Dan?
Strangled with a scarf? Wait a minute, we didn't hear about this strangled
Oh
with
yeah,
a
it was
scarf.
strangled with a cloth. The knife wasn't actually the murder weapon.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was actually. You look at the picture again, and you can see the cloth.
Around the, yeah.
You see, around his neck, he has a scarf. that he always
Yeah.
wears. That's how he died. He was strangled.
Oh, I wasn't here for that time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was
Alright.
strangled, not actually stabbed. The stabbing was a like a.
The stabbing was the forgery,
Yeah.
assuming.
Now here's the thing. All right. So if he was stabbed here, then let's say like the button wasn't there, it probably wouldn't be able to penetrate the button because you know it's too thick for the knife to go through, and it's a weak knife, by the way. It's not like an actual murder knife.
Exactly.
So it would have been really hard to rip this off and,
Yeah.
and like stab them afterwards, right? So it almost seems like something that would have been done after he was dead, like after he was like when he wouldn't have been able to like move.
Correct. Plus, remember, she's a clever girl. She
Yeah.
knows like that thing can't, so she purposely stabbed him through where the heart should be.
Yeah, where it should be, right?
Right.
And it's
Where it
also
should
like all the buttons are covering like the most vital spots, right? If he was stabbed here, if he was stabbed here, it wouldn't have been like as deadly.
Exactamundo.
Yeah.
So
That's
what are you
I'm
submitting? What are you submitting then?
It's it's
It's
more
a
of
photo.
question of which to make.
No,
Never mind, not the
The
photo.
knife?
Damn
not the
it.
photo. It's you're on the right page. It's like the right thinking.
The wine glass, because if there was a fight, then the wine glass should have spilled,
Okay,
right?
you guys are all on the right right track, but
Fuck.
you're getting the wrong evidence.
You're just gonna
Yeah.
find out
There's-
which-
There's evidence that's a bit more like I can't forgetting the word. What's the word like? Clear, I guess. A bit more clear.
Clear?
The button itself? No.
Yeah.
the
Oh,
button itself, right? Yeah, the button itself.
No, not the button
Oh
itself.
no, it's not the
Fuck.
button or the photo. It's not any photo. It's not a button. It's not the button. It's
It's the camera.
And it's not the knife because I said the knife and you said no.
is it?
The documents?
Yeah.
It's the autopsy report.
Yeah, because he was strangled. To the
He was strangled, so there was no scuffle. There was no.
Okay, there we go.
There was no
yeah.
struggle because he was strangled to death.
That's why it was weird. Because
Oh.
why would there be a struggle? That's what I was.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Right.
There's no struggle because he was strangled.
Yeah, there was no fight technically.
Yeah, so the button did not fall off in a fight because there was no fight.
Yeah. This is the victim's autopsy report. It clearly states that the cause of death was strangulation by a scarf.
So strangling.
The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died.
And what does that mean?
Let's examine the evidence. This button has the victim's blood on it, which would mean that it was ripped off the costume. When?
After the knife was stabbed into the victim.
Exactly. Which means it is impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle, because the victim was strangled to death in that fight.
Good.
That's right, Miss Andrews. There is no way that this button was ripped off during the struggle. This button was constantly pulled off of the victim's already dead body.
I still don't think she did it though.
Order! Order! What is the
Pulled off.
meaning?
Hold up. What is the meaning? That's what I was gonna say. What is the meaning of this, right? So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim had already died? What does that change?
Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did that serve?
What purpose?
We now know that this button was now torn off. We now know that this button was not torn off during the fight, so the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this from the victim's body. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it?
Mr. Wright, does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with the button? What was it?
To put the pin the crime on
Well,
the card.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to pin the crime
on
on guard, because then they put it on the in the yeah
On the
in the costume on the hakama.
And to be honest, if we look at it again, the stab isn't really deep.
It's not that deep, yeah.
I don't even think it like pierced through the skin, or it barely pierced through the skin.
Yeah,
It's like on the cloth itself. I don't know. Still weird.
still, I think it's this one.
Yeah. It's the
There was
small
only one
times.
logical reason for doing something like that. It was to pin the crime on Mr. On Guard. There was no way anyone would put a blade button in their own pants. That's right, Mr. On Guard was set up by the real killer, of course.
Bum, bum, bum.
And the real murderer is... Well, Mr. Wright, who in the world is the real killer then?
Finally. I
The
can't
monkey.
believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point.
Phoenix, you can't let your guard down yet. Not until the very end.
The real killer, the person who planned to frame Mr. On Guard, is none other than Maya Fey, who sits right now in the wine cellar. I mean, it's gotta be...
She's still there as we speak.
It's gotta be Adrian, right?
It's a grass.
Maybe it's the grandma. She was a huge fan of
The
wine.
grandma.
I still don't
It's
think
It's Old Bag.
she
Wait,
did.
we don't know Old Bag's age?
Oh?
What? And why is she
Yeah.
labeled a security lady? Don't we know her name? Oh, whatever.
I don't know. It was like that before. like,
Anyway.
even last game.
Well, come on, like, do you guys have any objections to it being?
I don't
Adrian?
object, but I still don't think she's the killer.
Really?
I don't
What's your
think she
reasoning? What's your
killed.
reasoning?
Because she, think about it. What we're doing now is we're proving that she faked it, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think she's the one who actually killed him. She's the one that like put the costume on, put the knife in, framed it. But I don't
Framed
think
it
she's
on-
the one who killed him.
Ah, so she's the one who cleaned it up, but she wasn't the real one.
She's the one who cleaned it up, but she wasn't the real one.
So
right?
who do you have in mind here?
I don't really think we know yet.
Edgeworth
so
wasn't
I,
here. Francisco wasn't here. Lotto was
No.
there, but
Lotta
you think she
wasn't
really-
there, but she, yeah. Nobody has the same motive
Did he
as
hang
her.
himself?
No, he couldn't have killed him. Fuck.
Strangling.
What do you
cannot-
think?
cannot
Wait,
strangle yourself.
wait.
You can't. I mean, you can't strangle yourself, but there should be. Oh,
It's me, Damon God. What's up?
It was hung
Maybe-
around. It was wrapped around
What's
his
happening?
neck.
It's around,
Wait, what's
around his
happening?
neck.
Huh? We're
It is a bathroom.
discussing the possibility if he actually hung himself.
Did he hang him? Oh, you mean
No, he-
strangle himself?
No, he couldn't have strangled himself.
He like what if he
I-
hung
yeah,
himself?
but he-
You know?
Wait, where are we? Where are we in the game? I don't know where we are.
Oh, sorry. We're in the part where we
the real the
Oh.
person. I think our only actual option is, well, not actual, plausible option
is Adrian.
is Adrian.
I mean, it's all been building
But I-
up to her, right? Except
yeah,
Yeah.
it would have
let's
been,
see.
would be a real cock block if we sent someone else.
Yeah.
So I'd say Adrian.
Okay, fine. Let's go with
Even though
it.
I don't think she actually did it.
You're wrong.
You just want to blow the fuck up.
Oh,
gumshoe.
But you just wanna
Gumshoe,
blow the
no.
fuck up.
Yes.
Miss Adrian Andrews. I
will
choose
use that
you.
in this.
What? What
I'm
game?
playing fucking.
which
I
game is
choose her right now.
You are Mr. Corita's killer.
What?
Yes, sir.
She broke her glass.
Order! Mr. Wright, this is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge?
Any evidence?
Oh,
All of the evidence points to Miss Andrews.
yeah.
Well, how preposterous. You can stick of any of that on me.
I can't, can I? Would you care to test me?
Then what about this knife?
The knife was used to stab the victim after he had already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion onto Mr. On Guard, naturally. A knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room, and the only one who had dinner with him and knew which knife to take was you.
Was you?
Oh, Jesus!
How many glasses?
How many
It's
glasses
like
does she have?
third glasses.
Damn, that's like already like 2,000 shekels spent easy.
That's sound-
It's all Phoenix.
that's all
Then-
like 5,000 pesos. Fucking
Then
goddamn.
what about the button? It was found in Mat Hakama.
But it wasn't.
This button was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. The only people who could have done so were the person who found his body or the killer. However, if Mr. On Guard was the real killer, there was no way he would have put such incriminating evidence in his own hakama. Oh, not again. The only person who could have put this button into Mr. On Guard's hakama is the person who went to wake him from his nap, which is you, yet again, Miss Andrews.
I see. What about the empty guitar case?
That is also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. That costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known that there was such a costume inside the guitar case? It could only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews.
No! She said sadly.
Oi, oi. But Miss Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found on the guitar case. And it was you who proved that she wasn't wearing gloves at the time. She was wearing the costume.
That's right.
No.
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 That's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. If anyone had found out that she had touched the case, they would have asked her why.
Why?
So to avoid leaving any prints, she used a towel or something else to open it. But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposely left her fingerprints on the glass to show that yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of a dead body. And to top it all off, there is this photo. A photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime.
Also,
No-
look who.
Huh?
No, I just wanted to point out that the costume is like really large on her legs. Like she isn't that tall.
Yeah.
So the ruffles
We
are
pointed
something.
out yesterday that she's too short.
Oh.
That's why there's wrinkles on the bottom. Yeah, anyway. No reasonable person on Earth can believe that this nickel samurai is Mr. On Guard. He would be too short for his own costume if it was him. Speaking of
continue,
how
please.
tall people are, Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you not?
Same, bestie, same.
Please, stop.
Oh, that was a violation, Phoenix.
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 That was a violation. Personally, I was in heaven.
Well, how about it, Miss Andrews? Fucking shorty. I've got her this
It's just
time.
funny. Which is funny because I'm 5'9".
Miss Andrews?
I refuse to testify.
Oh,
What was
He
that?
pleads the fifth. He pleads the fifth.
please, the fifth.
There's a law. It says I can't be forced to testify about something if I cannot be if you can't incriminate me.
Well, yes. You are absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. The law does provide us with a way to avoid self-incrimination by allowing a witness to not testify if the testimony can cause damage to themselves.
What? Pleading the fifth is not something most people would think to do on the spot.
I plead the
Just-
fifth.
She reads
Say
the
it with-
book more than Phoenix.
You guys know that the YouTube shorts of that fucking lawyer who's like, I plead the fifth. Say it with me, everybody. Do you know that? You know that? No?
I'm pretty sure.
You might have seen it on your
No.
feed, whatever. Actually, thinking back to yesterday in Mr. On Guard's room.
Adrian Andrews. Yes. Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood? Alright.
Okay.
Okay, fine. That's it.
Oh my god, it's Peridot and Aquamarine. Never mind. Okay.
That's when Franziska planted this idea into her head. She must have told Miss Andrews not to testify if things looked bad.
You did a
Nah.
good job moving everything up to this point, Phoenix. But there's still one more thing you haven't done.
Something I haven't
Oh.
done?
I did not. Heh. What's wrong, right? Are you finished already? Run out of evidence? Have you not any maidens?
Oh, man.
Actually, though, he has several maidens.
What is so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth?
Why so?
I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor.
I wouldn't get it.
But every good lawyer here has proven up to this point is meaningless.
You're awful.
What?
Everything you have proven is circumstantial.
Circumstantial?
Yes, circumstantial. I don't know what this word means, but it has come, so it's funny. You have yet to prove a single piece of definitive proof Prove that Miss Andrews did in fact harbor a wish to murder Mr. Corrida.
Actually, Edgeworth, we do have that.
Fuck. Fuck.
Miss Andrews, did you want to kill Mr. Corrida?
I believe this may lead. I believe this may lead to incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering.
But, Miss Andrews, if you do that, it would be the same as admitting you're killed. Don't you
Yeah,
think?
bitch.
Maybe so, maybe not. There's nothing to prove either way. Besides, you don't even know what crime I would be guilty due to my silence.
No! She's taking the defiant attitude again. Mia, what should we do?
Somehow, we've landed in the worst possible situation.
I think we have reached a certain conclusion at this point in time. Miss Adrian Andrews has refused to testify, and the defense's theory that she is the actual murderer has not been fully substantiated with solid definitive proof.
But that's not true.
In this situation, there is only one thing this court can do, and that is to declare a recess.
Recess? Not lunch? I'm hungry.
Oh,
I request that both the prosecution and the defense look further into this matter, and at tomorrow's trial,
Tomorrow?
No.
Oh no.
We don't have a tomorrow. If we don't get a not guilty verdict today, then... Please wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. The trial. Please continue the trial.
What are you sweating for? I'm sweating right now.
Me
'cause
too. It's so hot.
Yeah, right. Your client is getting one more day to live, isn't she?
That's not it. This isn't about that. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please.
Well, I know, you know that, I know that, you know that. Please
Enough.
let the trial
No
continue.
exception. Please let the trial continue. If I don't get the verdict, then... Maya,
but it's impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. Now then, this court is...
Oh, it's not impossible for this trial to continue.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you?
It's true Miss Andrew holds the right against the self-incrimination. However, if this topic of conversation were something unrelated, whatever she may be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony.
Oh, yes, that is very true, but...
The fifth has no fucking right. How actually, there is one little thing I'm curious about. Miss Andrews, when you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice.
yes,
My
and
question is, do you like tomato juice? I can't help but think this thing is unnatural, that is. Usually when someone finds a body, they're shaken up, not stirring a glass of juice.
James Bond reference?
all my actions were unusual, but ever ready.
Before you speak, I want to state that you have a reason behind your actions. I would like you to testify on that effect. To that effect.
Testify.
Oh.
Again.
And this, I was about to make the same reference. Yeah,
I said-
testify.
Fine.
Those boys are evil. Share with me, Your Honor. I would like to request that the witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whatever we find out is the testimony. Whatever we find out in this testimony should in no way
implicate.
what is that word? Implicate
Okay.
the witness.
Alright.
I don't know what it is about Edgeworth today, but I can't get a good read off of him. Is he a friend or a foe? I just
Is he
don't
gay?
know.
That rhymes, Mia.
It's hard to guarantee.
Okay, they can.
The court acknowledges the prosecution's request. Miss Andrews, if you please.
How many times have I said Mr. instead of Miss?
Does
Does that show my gender bias? Anyway, go.
The glass of juice, I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked into the room and I saw it in a messy state. And Juan, he was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. When I saw him sitting like that, the thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something, so I went to pour him some juice.
Interesting. You poured one out
Adrian,
for the
that
homie.
is a load of horse shit.
When I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked the flower vase over.
I think it should be fairly obvious.
Why didn't you say so in your earlier testimony?
I didn't think I need to include something so trivial. Phoenix, please be careful here. If you can't find anything wrong with this testimony, there is nothing left to do.
I know. Edgeworth, what the heck is going on in that brain of yours? Inside Out reference.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
But it came out before Inside Out, didn't it?
Do you ever look at...
Oh, true.
I was thinking, before we could disconnect it, if we're sending the knife. Because...
What?
Well, assuming that she thinks, or she's trying to tell us that it wasn't, the knife wasn't planted. Then, the knife was stuck in her body. And it's very hard to see a dead body. It's very hard to see a dead body with a knife and not think, oh, he's dead. You know? Like,
I mean,
why would you think that?
sure.
That's a good idea, but there's even better proof
Ooh.
than the
Yeah.
knife.
Are you
The
saying
fucking-
there's
the
some more
blood?
proof?
This?
The blood?
No, literally, Donnelly, you have everything right except the evidence you want to present. You have everything correct except for the evidence.
This?
It's not the knife.
Is it the photo?
Oh, the glass?
Yeah, it's the photo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the photo's more explicit because it literally has the knife inside.
Yeah, right. True.
Okay, go for it. Yeah, you're right. Good job.
Thank you. So you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him?
Ugh. No, not at all.
Even though this is what you saw when you discovered the body?
Ow.
You,
What is the meaning of this?
Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? There was a knife sticking straight out of Mr. Korea's chest. Anyone who saw the scene would have immediately thought that he was a dead man.
that's, well, you see.
I didn't have my glasses.
No.
Like, you always have glasses.
You always have
My
scares in your pocket and a bottomless pit. I doubt a single person in the world would mistake this for someone who fainted and then so nonchalantly go pour something to drink.
Your point is?
Miss Andrews, your testimony just now, it was all one giant lie.
He broke again.
And your lie has proven one thing very clearly. That you are the real killer.
No! I can't scream, sorry, I can't scream.
Oh man.
I can't scream because there's people here. Wait, let me do the... Oh, wait. Yeah, you do it. You scream.
It looks like the defense has somehow brought the ugly truth to light. The defendant, Mr. Matt Ungard, is not guilty after all.
But that's impossible. You're wrong.
No!
Miss Andrews, try to have some composure.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me, I tell you. It was Matt. I swear, he's the one who killed Juan.
But you were the one who refused to testify. And your reason for not doing so was that you might end up incriminating yourself.
That's because...
Miss Andrews, I will give you one last chance. What exactly are you hiding that may incriminate you?
I refuse to testify.
He's pleading the fifth.
There is no need.
these nuts, Andrews.
There is no need for this court to continue any further. Mr. Matt Ungard's innocence has been clearly demonstrated.
Is it over? Have we found the truth at last?
What's wrong, Phoenix?
Usually the real killer confesses his or her guilt. And now that I think about it, this is the first time someone hasn't.
You're right.
Now then, I would like to hand down my verdict for Mr. Matt Ungard.
What?
Hold a minute, wait a minute, Your Honor. The prosecution feels it has would. The prosecution feels that it would be premature to pass down a verdict at this time.
Keyboard. Keyboard. No! Fuck!
The reason is quite simple. We heard the keyboard. We heard you typing that. The witness has yet to speak the absolute, real truth.
The absolute real truth? What are you?
Witness, don't you understand yet?
Uh-huh.
I don't know who planted this silly idea in your head, Shukama, but as long as you are as long as you protect yourself through your silence, Matt and God will go free, and his place, and this place, and in his place, you will become part of the guilty party. I can't.
That's a lie.
Anticlimactic.
Don't
You will
believe
be.
you.
You're in the guilty party now. What?
I was told if I spoke, then it would be all over, and Matt would never be declared guilty.
What in the world is she talking about?
Wait a
She
minute,
lost it?
before the card. Maybe they have something on her too. The killer.
Yeah,
Killer.
yeah.
Maybe that's why she's in the same situation as us.
Yeah.
I can't speak about it. I'm too scared. It's Francisca von Karma.
Huh?
Don't you remember? Phoenix? Miss Andrews lives by grasping tightly onto the worst of others. Because she doesn't have the strength to believe in herself.
Right now, Miss Andrews is.
Yesterday she was tossed a lifesaver by Miss Von Karma. Don't say a word, no matter what happens. If you do, Matt and God will be acquitted. Miss Andrews undying believes in these words right now and clinging onto them.
Then what should we do? This is the first time I've ever come across anything like this. But Miss Andrews has to be the killer, right? All we have to do now is get her not guilty. That's my only priority.
It wasn't me, I'm begging you. Please believe me. I didn't kill Juan. Help, please. Someone, help me.
Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor? Sorry.
The court can continue on like this. Therefore, I'd like to hear what you intend to do.
What I intend to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say?
Right. I suggest you think this very carefully.
Saying this while you eat.
Think about what the witness did and not what she did not do. And think about who is the real mastermind behind this crime.
The
Who's
killer.
the real mastermind? Isn't
Me.
it obvious? There's no one
It's
else.
me.
There's no one else it could be except a woman crying over there. Right?
Now, what will you do? What kind of a man are you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Are you a man or a muppet?
Forced.
What are you, a man or a mouse?
I think that she's in the same situation as us.
I'm a man.
Okay, if we force
or am
Andrews to
I a
testify.
muppet?
And,
I think. What do you think, Phoenix? I think forced to testify.
yeah, forced to testify as well. Because this.
Well,
What, sorry?
Forced to testify.
What, sorry?
Forced to testify.
Okay.
You got it. You got it, boo. You got it. Don't mind me. I'm just really hungry.
Alright. I have to win a complete acquittal today. There's no way around that. But. I can't bring myself to do it like this. Not when she's making a face like that. Miss Andrews, I would like to know what you are really hiding.
But Mr. Wright, are you sure you know what you're doing?
Sure, Mr. Vanguard would get an acquittal, but in his place, you would be found guilty. Is this really how you want this trial to end?
Be quiet! How dare you! You're trying to trick me!
That's enough. I commend you for trying, Mr. Edgeworth. However, it's clear that the defense's theory.
Game theory!
Okay,
You're wrong.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. What a shame.
Huh.
I had hoped things wouldn't come to this. However,
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
Miss Andrews, since you absolutely refuse to testify, it falls on my shoulders to disclose this to the court.
Yeah, I know.
Stop!
Mr. Edgeworth?
Oh God, what is he gonna do? This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness.
What?
And because of this illness, she has tried to commit suicide in the past.
Edgeworth,
Is
just
she
say
depressed?
depression.
Stop!
She got
please,
depression.
stop.
Hey.
Oh, it's the thing we talked about earlier.
Yeah, 'cause, Edgeworth also has depression. People who have depression don't really like saying depression. Anyway, no matter how much you want to hide it, it is no use. I have the evidence right here. Your suicide note. Yes. Let me read it out loud to you.
That's the second. No! That's the second part of the suicide report. The attempted suicide report.
What will you do now, witness?
Holy shit, Edgeworth, you're
Holy
brutal.
shit, Edge, goddamn. You know what I'm about to do, don't you?
Oh no.
So, now I reveal to the court the true nature of this pitiful woman known as Adrian Andrews.
The secret of her dependent nature. Having other people know about it scares her more than anything else in the world.
Please, stop! I beg you. Oh wait, that's what. What? I beg you. If people find out, I'll.
Edgeworth, wait!
If you're going to say would choose death, then that's no concern of me.
Holy shit, Edgeworth!
Damn, Edgeworth.
Savage.
No!
Really puts them.
Edgeworth, how can you be so cold?
However, before you die,
Oh my god!
I will pull the truth from your still breathing lips.
Oh my god!
Oh, no matter what I have to do.
Jesus,
Damn.
this.
So, will you tell the court yourself or shall I? Either way is fine with me. I feel bad for this woman.
I'll talk, please, but please help me. Nothing matters anymore. That's it. Nothing matters.
That's it. Nothing really.
No!
When I first saw him, I really thought he had fainted. Honest. When I realized he was dead, that was when I formulated my plan. Once I made sure that there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. And then I stabbed Juan's dead body with the knife and ripped off the button. Just when I finished and was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. And that's why I ended up using the Nico Samurai costume.
Stabbed the body with a knife? But why would you do that?
Isn't it obvious? To pin the blame on a certain person. A certain cowardly man.
What do you mean by all of this?
It might take this court a little while to understand, but this is the truth.
The real killer is Matt. The scumbag of a man. I'll never forgive him. He's trying to escape his guilt again, just like last time.
Last time?
Last time?
So, Miss Andrews stabbed the victim, Juan Corita, in the chest with a knife. However, she did not... Yeah, see? She did not do it with murder in mind.
Let's go,
She
though.
did it with the intent of framing Matt and God for the murder. And this This is her crime. Not murder, but framing.
What? How is this possible? I mean, wasn't Miss Andrews supposed to be the real murderer?
I
That's
really am
right.
Elizabeth.
Please get over your shock and commence the cross-examination.
Alright, here we go. Last thingy.
Fuck.
Testimony.
Okay.
Ah.
I need to present it.
But you could tell from the state the room was in that there must have been a fight. Are you telling the truth when you say that you did not know he was dead?
He had a scarf tied around his neck. But the scarf is a part of the Jammy Ninja's costume, so I didn't think anything about it. It was strange. His head was also tilted a bit down, so I couldn't see his face well. That's why I thought I'd wake him up and went to pour juice.
Juice.
Oh, here.
Jeez.
What is this plan you had?
I knew right away the murderer was Matt. I knew because of Juan. He was going to expose Matt's weakest weak point to the world.
Weakness, weak point, weakness, weak point.
So Matt did this to stop Juan and silence him for good. That's when I thought I should forge some evidence and pin this crime on Matt.
So forged pieces of the evidence were the knife and the button.
The first thing that came to mind was to plant a knife.
That was so you could get so you could get the knife, correct?
The knife Matt used at the dinner had his fingerprints all over it. I thought if they used that, then the police would certainly turn their eyes towards him.
Sure.
Matt was napping with his costume at the time. I slipped in, took the knife, and returned to the scene of the crime. You really...
So you were the one to stab the victim with that knife.
It gives me goosebumps to think about it now. What a horrible thing I did. But at that time, I couldn't control my own body. It moved on its own. Then, when I stabbed Juan's dead body, I suddenly realized something. If I used the button somehow, I could make Matt look even more upset as a suspect.
So you thought to rip one of the buttons off, then plant it in Mr. Engard's hakama?
Yes, that's what I had planned to do. But things never go that smoothly, do they?
No.
An inconvenience?
There was a woman with a camera at the ready, loitering in the hallway.
Loitering.
Loitering.
I'm willing to bet my spikes it was Lotta. Spikes.
There was also a woman with a ray gun at the ready, pacing back and forth.
Oh my god. That's Miss Allbag for you.
I had already been caught and made into a big scoop first in a weekly tabloid once. So I couldn't very well go out looking like myself and get caught again.
You were the one who prepared that costume, weren't you?
Yes, I took it from the Global Studios. I also put it in Juan's guitar case the day before the award ceremony.
You did this in preparation for the press conference, correct?
Yes, Juan wanted to wear the costume and hold a preference conference in it. He was going to disclose Matt's big secret here.
And what is this secret?
That I don't know. Anyways, I thought of it. If I were to leave Juan's room in Miko's samurai's costume, then people would think that Matt was the real murderer. I was very careful not to leave any fingerprints when I opened the guitar case. I absolutely did not want anyone to find out about the costume.
I think we've heard enough. So, after that, you went back to Mr. Engard's room and planted the button.
Into Matt's hakama, yeah? After that, I folded up the costume I was wearing and put it into a bag. Then I snuck it out of the hotel and got rid of it.
My word, what does all this mean?
Mr. Edgeworth, is it?
No. You can call me Adrian.
The real criminal is Matt Engard.
But that's just a theory.
Again, theory.
Yesterday, that woman prosecutor set me down for a talk. And a whip. A lot of
Francisca.
whipping.
Huh? Oh
God.
no.
Your whipping session.
She told me that I should under no circumstances... she said that I should under no circumstances confess to what I have done. That if I just kept quiet, then Matt would be found guilty for sure. I had no choice but believe in her words.
Interesting.
What this witness has done is clearly unlawful. However, as long as her testimony stands, we can be certain she is not the real killer.
Wait, Your Honor. The defense still...
Hold the fuck up, right? It's pointless. At this point in time, it is not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything.
Yes, exactly. There isn't a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. The cross-examination of this witness is over, and so is today's trial. You couldn't establish that the witness was the culprit. Please, let it go, Mr. Wright.
Let it go.
Shut up! But-
Mr. Edgeworth, please place Mr. Andrews under arrest for further questioning.
Understood, Your Honor. The prosecution will arrange for her detention immediately.
Stay after school.
That is all. Court is adjourned for today.
No!
Judge is gone. No judge.
Shit. Oh, he's just gone.
He's done. The jury's gone as well.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Damn, that's a new one.
Today's trial. It's over. And I didn't win an acquittal.
Witness, do you mind if I ask you something?
Edgeworth?
Well, what is it?
Are you single? Before you leave court today, I was wondering if I might look at one.
Oh no!
No!
Your booby, the card in your hand. It had my interest for quite some time now.
What exactly?
What exactly is it?
This Mr. Wright also asked about this.
It's the calling card.
Although I didn't remember at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright. I remember it just now. I found this room. I found this in the room on that day.
The room?
The room.
The movie?
That room? I mean, the day?
I did not!
I did not. I did not kill her.
I found this card when I was discovered Juan's body. It was lying around right there next to him.
You found that card next to the victim's body?
I suppose I must have unconsciously slipped it into my pocket. But it's not as if this card has any relevance to Juan's murder, right?
Yeah, I guess not.
No, it does.
But it's still a strange card if you ask
It
me.
does.
But as far as a clue to this case, I don't see why. Dramatic irony. We know and they don't.
I think...
Wait,
he knows.
witness! That card, give it to me! Hurry! He knows.
Edgeworth?
Do you have any idea what you have stupidly, yet inadvertently done?
So mean today.
This, I can't believe you hid this from me all this time!
I didn't mean to. No, what is it all about?
I've never seen Edgeworth so emotional before.
He knows.
That
knows?
card. What in the world is it? And what does it mean?
What does it mean?
And we'll see you guys
Oh,
next time!
A game next time.
A game next time!
A game next time.
you still
Thanks.
look
Alright.
high profile.
Alright.